word of life.
All right, in this explainer, we are jumping into one of the most foundational chapters in Genesis. And it's wild because it's really a story of two totally different halves. First, we're going to break down this incredible divine promise made to literally all of humanity, and then a deeply personal curse that tears a single family apart.
So just try to picture the scene, right? The entire world has just been hit with a hard reset. A global flood. And these are the very first words spoken to Noah and his family. It's a command, sure, but it's also this huge blessing, basically a green light to start everything over again.
And when you have a whole new world, you're going to need some new rules. The entire relationship between people, animals, and even the concept of life itself is about to get a major rewrite.
Right away, we see this massive shift in the power dynamic. Before the flood, things were different, but now, humanity is explicitly put right at the top of the food chain. This isn't just about living side by side anymore. This is a whole new hierarchy, one built on fear and dominion.
This also led to one of the biggest practical changes you can imagine. What's for dinner? The human diet gets this massive expansion. It went from just plants, the green herb, to basically every moving thing that liveth. In a single verse, humanity goes from strictly vegetarian to full-on omnivore.
But with this new permission comes one very important rule, a crucial restriction. It's this profound law. You can eat the flesh, but not with its blood. And why is that? Well, the text is crystal clear, because the blood is the life. It directly connects that physical substance with the very essence of being alive.
And that principle gets taken to the highest possible level when it comes to human life. This is it, the foundation for capital punishment. And the reason given is so important. To take a human life is to attack the very image of God, because that's what people are made in. The value of a human life is declared sacred.
Okay, so we've had all these new laws, some really heavy stuff. But now the story pivots. We move from the rules for humanity to this everlasting promise from God, a real moment of hope and reassurance after so much destruction. So, what do we even mean by covenant? It's way more than just a simple promise. You should think of it like a sacred treaty, a binding contract, and check out who it's with, not just Noah and his family, but with every living creature forever. It's completely universal, and it never expires.
And here it is, the heart of the agreement. It's an unconditional promise that a world-ending flood will never, ever happen again. That's a pretty profound statement of divine restraint, a guarantee for the future of all life on the planet.
But, a promise like that needs a reminder, right? How would anyone remember? So a physical sign is put in place, the rainbow. The text calls it a token. So the idea is, when a storm cloud shows up, the rainbow might appear too, acting as this constant, visible reminder of that unbreakable promise.
And just when we're thinking about this huge cosmic scale promise, the camera suddenly zooms all the way in. The story pivots hard, from the divine to the domestic, focusing on a conflict brewing inside a single family.
So here's the setup for what comes next. Life has moved on. Noah is a farmer now, a man of the soil. He plants a vineyard, he makes wine, and then, in a very human moment of weakness, he drinks too much and passes out, completely exposed in his tent. And that one act kicks off everything that follows.
The sequence of what happens here is so important. First, Ham goes in, sees his father's condition, and then goes out and tells his brothers about it. But Shem and Japheth, they have a totally different reaction. They take a garment, walk in backwards so they can't see anything, and cover their father. Two completely different responses to the same embarrassing situation.
So Noah wakes up, and the text says he knew what his younger son had done unto him. And his response, it's not just a scolding. It's a series of powerful prophetic declarations that are going to ripple out for generations to come.
Noah's words here are incredibly specific. And here's the twist. The curse isn't directed at Ham, the son who actually saw him. No, it's aimed at his son, Canaan, who is condemned to be a servant of servants. Shem, on the other hand, gets a blessing, and Japheth is told he'll be enlarged. But notice the common thread. Canaan is set up to be a servant to both of his uncles. These words basically lay out a future for the nations that would come from these three sons.
And just to put this whole thing in perspective, the chapter ends by telling us Noah's total age, 950 years.
It's a number that kind of grounds this very human family drama in this epic, almost mythical timescale, just reminding us of the ancient world this all comes from.
So we're left with this jarring contrast all in one chapter. You've got a universal promise of preservation for all life, symbolized by a rainbow, and a very specific family curse that creates a hierarchy of servitude. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How did these two events, born from the exact same family, end up shaping the world to come?